Hi, my name's Corey Getz. I'm with UHQ Construction, and today we're going to talk about what a quality roofing system looks like. So with UHQ Construction, we always take our time, we're honest, and we deliver a quality project. So today we're going to talk about what that really looks like in a roofing system. So when we look at roofing systems, there are three major aspects to a roofing system. Number one, the seal stage. Number two, the defend stage. And then number three, the breathing stage of it. Let's start off with number one, the seal stage of our roofing system. So the first thing we want to do when we're sealing off our roof is we're going to use ice and water shield. Ice and water shield is going to have a backing that we take off here, and then it's sticky. So it sticks to our decking down to the eave of the roof. So we put it on all the edge of the bottom where the gutter is at your eave. We install it in your valleys where the two slopes meet. We're going to install it around any skylights, also around your chimneys, any roof to wall areas, and around any penetrations that you may have on your home. We'll install the granulated ice and water shield to help seal. This really helps prevent against mold and rotten wood, and it helps a lot with ice dams in the winter when you can't prevent ice dams. And if you're not familiar with ice dams, what ice dams are is, here in central Indiana or in Indiana in general, we'll get maybe 6 inches or a foot of snow. And during the day, the sun comes out, it melts the top layer down, causing moisture to go down to our shingle level. Then at night, it refreezes. And when the water refreezes, it can go up underneath your shingles. And when it goes underneath your shingles, it can get to the next layer. And that's why we put our ice and water shield down on the eaves, so that way we can prevent against ice dams and any chance of you having any type of water infiltration into your home. After we've put our ice and water shield down on the eave, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install synthetic felt paper. So the synthetic felt paper is not like the old felt paper that we used to use. The old felt paper that we used to use would tear really easily. This does not tear at all, giving us a nice, solid seal underneath our shingles. So that way, before your shingles ever get installed, we've completely sealed off the roof below that, so there's nothing to worry about. After we've taken care of our underlayment, the next step is step number 2. We want to defend that roof. So how do we defend your roof? Well, the first stage of defense is going to be with our starter shingles. Starter shingles help with the defense against wind. Here in central Indiana, we can have very high wind gusts. Sometimes there's tornadoes. And so we want to help prevent against any winds and high winds, especially straight line winds. So when we defend against that, we use the actual starter strip. What other contractors will do is they'll take a 3-tab shingle, they'll cut the tabs off, they'll turn it upside down, they'll use it as their starter. So that way they can save a few dollars. People always ask, Corey, why are you more expensive? Well, sometimes it has to do with the actual products that we're installing. So if a contractor is less expensive, a lot of times they're finding a way to cut corners. That's one way that they'll cut corners. So we don't cut the corners. We use the starter strip from Owens Corning. So that way it seals completely along that bottom edge, giving us that opportunity to get a 130 mile per hour wind rating at the eave of the roof. The eave of people's roofs is where it's most likely to have wind damage. Once we have our starter shingles on, the next stage in our defense system is our actual shingle. Today we're installing Owens Corning Oak Ridge shingles. These shingles come with up to 130 mile per hour wind rating, 25 years of algae resistance. It's a very high quality laminated granulated shingle that'll last a long time for all of our homeowners with a 50-year warranty that comes with the shingle. So these are great shingles. There are other options to step up from this if people are interested. Sometimes they want a different color, or maybe they're interested in a class 4 impact rated shingle. We have other solutions for that, but today we're installing the Oak Ridge shingle. After the Oak Ridge shingle, the next step is using a ridge shingle. So we're going to install the actual Owens Corning Pro Edge Roof ridge shingle. These have a complete tar line, so where other contractors will cut corners by cutting 3 tabs up, we don't do that. We use the proper ridge shingles, so that way we make sure that all of the ridge seals down properly. Now, after we've done the defend stage, so first we sealed, second we defended, now third, the last but most important thing that we're going to do is we're going to install new ridge vents. Sometimes we'll install box vents, but the main thing with ventilation is we want 50% inflow through the soffits or the eaves of the roof, and then we want 50% ventilation out of the peak. What this is going to do is allow to prevent from any type of heat buildup in the attic that becomes excessive. Sometimes if there's too much heat buildup, it will cut down on the life of the shingle. Where by putting on the proper ridge vent, which we use a rigid plastic 4-foot strips that has a netting to prevent bugs from coming in, we know that that roof is going to breathe on the peak. What other contractors will do is they'll use a cheaper rolled ridge vent. They get over nailed, they get filled up with like bugs nests and wasp nests, and then they don't breathe properly. But we know that these rigid plastic, these are going to work well for the life of that roofing system. So again, we seal, we defend, and we make sure it breathes. And that way we can offer a quality roofing system that's going to last for 50 years.